This video, sponsored by Envato Elements. Hey everyone, welcome back to my After Effects tutorial. Today, we are going to create this. So let's get started. Open After Effects and create a new composition. I'm calling it Modern Logo Intro. I am using the 1920 by 1000 resolution to make it widescreen. Also, my frame rate is 60, as well as the duration is 5 seconds. You are free to use your own settings. The first step is to create a new solid layer. I am calling it the background. Let's use this color code for it, so the background won't be too white. Hit OK, and let's move to the next step. Import your logo file into the project. As you can see, I have two separate logo files. The first one is my logo mascot, which is the shape or icon of the logo. And the other one is the text or title. Let's select this logo mascot layer first, and place it on top of the background. Press S to open scale. Now change the scale value according to your requirement. In my case, I am keeping the scale value of 15%, so that it will fit right here. Let's add some animation to it. Go to the 1 second position, and then add a keyframe on the scale. Now press R to open rotation, and add a keyframe on it as well. Let's press U to open all keyframes. Now go to the first frame position, and change the scale value to 0%. Also, the rotation value will be 90 degrees. Check the animation, and this is how it will look now. Not bad, but I don't like this rotation angle. So let's change it. Go to the first keyframe position, and change the rotation value to -90 degrees. Cool. Let's make the animation a little attractive. Select all keyframes, right-click on them, go to the keyframe assistant, and ease them. You can also press F9 as the shortcut key. Now open Graph Editor, and if your graph does not look like this, then right-click here, and choose Edit Speed Graph. Then select the keyframes, and change the curve to something like this. I am also going to change the curve for the first keyframe. And this is how it looks now. Let's play it. And it is looking much better. Cool. Switch back to the main timeline, and now we are moving to the next step. Go to around 10 frames forward. And click here to add another scale keyframe. Now go to the 1.5 second position, and change the scale value to +5%. In my case, the value is 20%. Cool. Now go to the 2 second position, and change the scale value to 0%. This is how the animation will look now. I think the animation looking too fast in the end. So grab this keyframe, and place it onto the 2.5 second position. It will make the animation slower. Now open Graph Editor, and change the curves to something like this. Switch back to the main timeline, and play it. Not bad. Let's make our logo reveal. Import your logo file into the composition, and place it on top of all layers. Again, open Scale, and add a keyframe on it. Let's change its scale value to 0%. Then go to around 1 second forward, and change the scale value to 20%. This value can be different according to your logo size. If you have a small size logo, then the value will be different. So change it according to your requirement. As you can see, the first mascot is scaling down, and then the logo is scaling up. So first select the scale keyframes of our logo layer, and place them right here, so that the animation starts at the same time. Now right-click on these keyframes, go to the keyframe assistant, and select Easy Ease. Then open Graph Editor, and change the curve to something like this. Select the logo mascot layer, and adjust its graph if you need. Switch back to the main timeline, and this is how it will look now. Cool, this was a very simple animation. Let's add some particles to it. First, press U, to minimize all layers properties. And then right-click here, go to the New, and create a new solid layer. I am calling it Particle 01. For the color, I am going to use this red pinkish type of color. You are free to use any color you want. Hit OK, and this is how the layer will look now. For making the particles, we are going to use a very easy technique, instead of any plugin. So make sure your particle layer is selected, then go to the Tools, and select the Ellipse tool. Now, I am going to draw a few masks for creating the particles. Make sure to hold the Shift key on your keyboard, to make a perfect circle mask. Let's create a mask like this. Let's make some random masks on the layer, with different sizes and positions. Of course, you are free to add your own particle designs. I am just showing you the way, the destiny is yours. We have added around 7 masks on the Particle 01 layer. Let's unselect this layer, and this is how it will look now. Cool. Let's add more particles, create a new solid layer once again, and call it Particle 02. Change the color to a different shade. I'm going to use this yellow golden color. We will do the same technique, by adding multiple masks to it. Make sure you are holding the Shift key, otherwise, it won't create an ellipse instead of a circle. Let's quickly create more particles, by following the same technique. I have added around 4 layers, with different colors. I am fast forwarding this step, so that you don't have to see me doing the same work again and again. Now we are going to animate them. Go to the 1.5 second position, then select all particle layers, and press S, to open scale. Here add a keyframe on it. Now, I want the particles to appear, when my logo is going down. And this is happening at the 2.5 second position. So let's grab these keyframes, and place them in this position. Cool. Now go to the last keyframe position, and then unselect all layers. Here I am going to change the individual scale value of each layer. The first scale value will be 200. The second particle scale value will be 500. Third layer will be 800. And the last one will be 1100. I am adding a 300% gap in their scale values. It is going to add the different scale speeds for each particle layer, and they will give some 3D illusion. Let's trim our work area, so that we can play this part only. Play it, and this is how it will look now. See, it is creating some depth into the scene. Not bad. Now I am going to disappear these particles, when our logo is going to visible. So go to the 3.5 second positions. Select the first keyframe, copy, and paste it right here. Do the same with all other layers. I'm just going to copy the first keyframe, and pasting it onto the 3.5 second positions. Cool. Now select all keyframes, right-click on them, go to the keyframe assistant, and easy ease them. Open Graph Editor, and change the curve to something like this. Now the particles are animating. Let's play it once again, and this is how it looks now. Cool. Let's check the complete animation, by dragging the work area like this. And this is how it looks now. Now moving to the last step. I am going to add some camera zoom effect to the logo. Let's minimize all layers, and then create a new adjustment layer. Place it right below the particle layers. And I am calling it Focus. We are using the adjustment layer, because after applying any required effect on this adjustment layer, every single layer below it will be having the same effect. So instead of adding effect on individual layers, I am going to use the adjustment layer. Now select this focus layer, then go to the effect and the presets, and search for the fast blur. Apply it onto the layer, and let's add some blur to it. Go to around 35 frames position, and then add a keyframe on blur radius. Now press U to open the blur radius keyframes. Then go to a few frames backwards, and change the blur radius value to 3. You can also change the value from here, but I am going to change the value from the composition. Now go to around 1.5 second position, and add a keyframe on the blur radius. Go to a few frames forward, and change the blur radius value to 3. As you can see, the blur is also affecting the edges of my border, so just check on this Repeat Edges Pixels option, and the background will look like the same. Let's go a few frames forward, and then change the blur radius value to 0. I am going to add more blur animation to the logo. The placement of the blur depends on where you are going to show the zoom effect. You can manually add keyframes again and again, or you can simply copy these keyframes, and paste them right here. Cool. Let's do the same, while the text logo is appearing. I am pasting the same keyframes here. Now select all keyframes, and press F9 to ease them. And now we are done. Check the animation, and this is how it looks now. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I will see you in the next one. Till then, good luck, and peace. Design video products faster, with Envato Elements. Get unlimited download, After Effects template, stock footage, fonts, music files, web templates, and more. Visit the Envato Elements. Check the first link in the description.